Calling all heroes. They're superheroes. Hey everybody, welcome back for another episode of the REAC-CAST. Justin, how was your week, bro?
It was amazing, actually.
You doing
Maybe not 1 million, more like,
this
maybe
guy
100
right here. So if you're not from California, chances are you've never seen the California beach. But me in California, it's been a while since I've seen it. But Justin here.
I'm a California girl.
Whoa. He was at one last time, man. A little jealous.
I love the beach. I went there for some business, but I made sure to have some pleasure as well. So it was really good.
Well, good to hear, man. The same thing with my week was can't complain. It was pretty relaxing.
Good.
Did some renovations at home and such,
That's
so
cool.
But what about you guys? Make sure to leave it in the comment section down below.
We want to know.
It doesn't have to be anything about the trailer. We just want to make sure you had a great week, or at least a great day. Yeah. And if we can do anything to make your day more positive, this is what we're doing here. Well, Justin, we are gonna kick off with some fatalities this year. Well, actually, no, that's pretty bad. Let's not start with that. What I was trying to reference to, and it sounded much better in my head, was Mortal Kombat.
Mortal
Kombat. The first movie. The first movie was, I think it was hated mainly because I don't know what people were expecting from it. I thought it was a fun watch. It was one of those movies where you sit down and you're like, damn, like, it's not like 100% the game, but I think they did pretty damn good job showing some of the fatalities, especially with the modern technology. And then it's like, it was obviously we're gonna make another one because that movie was pretty popular at the time.
Yeah, we always need more Mortal Kombat. Come on.
But it was just more like, what more can they do? Who more? Who can they add? And then they're like, they went around and got my boy Carl Urban.
They
got Carl Urban.
Wild.
And that even if you were not a fan of the first one, at least like for me, I would have watched a movie with Carl Urban because that guy, he's one of those guys where like he cares about his fandom. And so, like, he always gives 100%. He always gives it 100% every time, and he's just always a likable character, regardless of what movie or show role he has. Right?
That matters so much to me for actors. I really do appreciate actors that put a little more effort into being social into their community, and just helping other people that look up to them.
Oh yeah, for sure. And we're gonna go ahead and cut right to the chase. Let's go ahead and see my man Carl Urban as Johnny.
Oh.
You want to know what makes a hero?
Carl Urban died.
It's not destiny. It's not something you're born with.
It's something you made, or you become.
It's searching for greatness.
Johnny Cage, you have been chosen for Mortal Kombat.
Then realizing you've had it in you this entire time.
Whoa! I really don't feel comfortable hitting a girl.
Don't worry. You won't.
Yo, send me back. I want to go back.
The rules of the tournament are simple. Our fates would not be settled by the size of our armies. They would be decided by combat.
I'm not some great warrior. I'm not some champion.
This is a war for the fate of your world.
Dude, I'm just so glad.
I'm not laughing in violence.
Me.
I'm not pretty sure they can consider them fatalities in the there's way more about it.
We do not kneel!
Only chance to face this together.
Let's go, baby.
You, Johnny Cage, are part of this now. It's showtime.
Get over here!
This was
Johnny will definitely die.
That's, yeah,
I love that, bro. You know,
That's
May
crazy.
8th, May 8th.
They've been around since before the early 90s. It was great. It was absolutely great.
You know, I will say like this was a fun trailer.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It
Like
doesn't reveal too much.
doesn't reveal too much.
I'm still
They're
not
keeping the
completely sure what the
fatalities.
story is either. So that's kind of nice. I get to find out.
Well, even you know, like even the first one, the story wasn't all that, but you know, just
It's
like
true,
the
it's
games,
true.
you don't play for the story, you play for the fatalities, you
You're
play
right,
for the
you're
action,
right.
and it
You're very
seems
right,
like
you're
it's
absolutely
sticking
right.
to that, right? Like
Yeah,
it's not
it's
trying
a
to
video
have
game
some
movie, like you said.
complicated plot, right? Nobody wants to go there and be bored with the plot. Just give us fatalities, give us action, give us Carl Urban as much as you can. And that's what we're getting. I mean, that was he was
Spider-Man.
he was like, you know, 60-70% of the trailer. So I am very much happy about that because you know, like I mentioned, the first one was great and some of the fatalities they had were brutal.
Yeah.
I loved it. But it was just like when they announced the second one, I was like, okay, what can they do from here? And then they're like, my boy Carl Urban coming in. There he is, right there behind us. He's coming at, and of course, Shao Kahn and pretty much, Cole Young is in this too. Man, I will say Cole Young was probably the weakest part of the first one because he's just you know, a made up character to be the main character.
I get that.
You know, who cares? I'm just glad that they went away from that type of story. I hope they do. And then they just went to what it should be, which is Mortal Kombat. And I will admit, growing up,
Epic.
I didn't play the Mortal Kombat games like a lot of people did. I was more of a Street Fighter guy.
Ooh,
I was more of a
like
Street
that.
Fighter. And
Classy,
then it was,
man.
and then it was Dead or Alive, and it wasn't for those reasons you were thinking of. Which I don't know if you know about those reasons, but don't Google it. But no, man, I got into Mortal Kombat really late, and I love it. And you know,
it's the same for any age as they're coming out with newer stuff. It makes it a little more relevant for people.
Some
to be able
people
to check
might
it out.
hate me for this because NetherRealm, right?
Okay.
They also made like the Injustice games, and those games I love to the T, right? Because again,
Those were really
superhero,
good. Yeah.
superhero fan, and
Well
the story
made.
mode on that, oh my god, was amazing.
Yeah.
And then I went to Mortal Kombat,
Check
right?
it
A lot
out,
of people
play it.
came to those games because they were Mortal Kombat fans. They're like, oh, with DC characters, let's try it out. But I was the other way around. I was like a DC fan, a superhero fan that went, okay, I'm going to go ahead and play this because we've never had a game like this before for the DC side.
Definitely
At
not.
least. You know, Marvel's always had Capcom versus Marvel, stuff like that, where, you know, they've always had those side fighting games, but
Right.
DC lacked
You're right.
them. And then they finally had one, and I had to play it, and I don't regret it. And then, you know, that made me a fan of NetherRealm. Went right to Mortal Kombat, and appreciated it ever since. And here we are with Mortal Kombat. Okay, completely switching
Switch it up.
the type of movies. I actually, you know, just found this on YouTube. It was trending, and I'm like, you know what? Maybe we'll go ahead and watch this because I thought this was. I don't even know what this is. It just says Jury Duty presents. Okay, is that like an actual live Jury Duty, or is that the name of the studio? I have no idea. Company Retreat official trailer. Season 2 promo.
Okay, so some of you might be fans already. Let's find out.
So yeah, let's find out because man, if I'm missing out on something, right now there's no good show on. Maybe I'll go ahead and watch this one.
Hello, my name's Anthony Norman. I'm here at. Sorry.
You can do it again.
Okay. Rocking Grandma. Sorry.
Still no idea what
This is my first day here.
Okay. Second one, okay,
I'm basically here to do whatever they need me to do.
so is
We
he
got
still
sales,
employee
customer
and everyone else
relations.
is paid by
This
Amazon?
was the octopus.
It's okay, I appreciate it. This is our CEO.
Dougie's office soon. My son's going to be the new CEO,
Dude,
and he is going to be great.
I've only been back for 6 months. I lived in Jamaica for 4 years.
What?
Don't do that.
We're about to go on a big retreat. And that's what you're helping out with here.
So many 8 character plays, bro.
We have got team building. fantastic motivational speakers. God kill me! And then not to mention the Rock and Grandma's talent contest.
ASMR.
Oh no. Really honest, I would like to watch it.
But Doug's last retreat before he dies.
No, he's not sick. He's retiring.
Not because he's dying? No. Well, that's good.
Someone has filed an anonymous complaint with HR. I anonymously made the complaint.
It's not anonymous anymore.
I have come to the decision to explore the sale of Rock and Grandma's to the good people of Trucas.
We are here to introduce ourselves and see if it's a match.
It's just weird to have that many redheads in one place.
If they think they can just come in and do whatever they feel like they want to do, they're in for a rude awakening.
I care about y'all. This is our family.
Show who we are. Yeah. Grandma, baby. Get up. I realize I feel like I'm on a TV show, but this is not something that you can just make up.
March 20th.
People think this job was handed to me, and I'm just excited to like prove that it's not like a hand job, it's an earned job. Just looking forward to proving that.
That's ridiculously freaking stupid, bro.
I don't know how I feel about this like that. Would you be okay with a situation like that?
Well, okay. First of all, I would love to work for a company like that. Bro, is the first season like this, or is it like, one season? It's a different thing.
It has to be a different person, I assume.
If it is, I watch the first one, bro. I love this trailer, and I don't even know what the show is about. Well, I didn't know before, but I do know now.
What was this called again?
It's Jury Duty Presents Company Retreat official trailer. Okay. Good job, Amazon. I think it is Amazon, right? Yeah, it was Prime Video, bro. Good job. Good job. You've got a new watcher coming your way. Two new watchers coming your way.
I'm gonna probably watch that tonight. Honestly,
honestly, I had a really good laugh at that, and that's hard to find nowadays. You have too many comedy movies trying to be too funny.
Yeah, great. See, just a good idea is all you need sometimes.
Yeah, and it feels original. Maybe there's something out there, but I haven't seen it. And talking about something hot right now, we're gonna go ahead and switch it up to another trailer I actually found to be trending right now, and it's called the Madison for Paramount Plus.
Okay, that's pretty good. I mean, obviously, it's really, really good.
So Paramount, Plus is Paramount. They've got freaking what's his name? Is it James Cameron? No, yeah, I think they've got James Cameron. They've got correct me if I'm wrong, but Christopher Nolan as well, because he had left Warner Brothers. But yeah,
and I do believe they may have actually finally. I just heard this. It's a speculation, but I believe they're trying to seal the deal for that.
Bro, I don't want that to happen.
Disney.
I don't want that to happen. We'll go back to that. We'll go back to that after this right here. So, the Madison. Here we go. What is this trailer? I don't know, but these are the favorite things I like, is when I don't know what something's coming out and then we're surprised by the trailer. But if it's trending, it's got to be good.
You will have as much life as you allow yourself.
At night,
Kurt Russell.
The bull elk come down to the river and bugle. And it drives the lady elk crazy.
They bugle.
Is it a show or a movie?
I remember when you used to bugle.
It's gotta be a movie.
Memories. It's like a movie. We can play it over and over.
It feels like an emotional movie.
To revisit all those times we did have together. All the talks.
They get you thinking, to be honest.
All the laughs. All the hugs.
Not the same, though, as a real hug.
No. It's not the same.
Yeah, that's what
Mine is not a family designed to withstand tragedy.
The worry is what you do next.
I know you are hurting. We are all hurting.
I'm 65 years old. I have a very small window to feed this. Wanna go fishing?
I don't know how.
Neither do I, but men do it drunk. So how hard can it be?
You will have as much life as you allow yourself.
Is it bad? It's not funny.
That's why I'm here. I make a memory a day.
And that's something they're showing him. That's all I'm saying right there.
We got a fish! We got a fish! Oh, we got a
Very wholesome.
You know what? Maybe
Very
in the state of chaos this
sad.
world is in,
Yeah.
maybe this is the type of material we need. I mean, that line right there stuck to me. You know, I mean, that's why I'm here, to make a memory a day.
I love
You know,
that.
that's a good perspective of life.
Yeah.
I think you would genuinely be happy if you did one memory a day that you could remember each year, which will evolve to a decade, which will evolve to, you know, keep on going until, you know, you're at the tail end of your life.
Yeah,
I mean,
think that'll help you cherish each day individually and separately as well. I think that's kind of the moral there as well for that. It's beautiful.
But I think you're right. I think you do need a tissue box for
you might for that
for this series.
It was very good though. It was very, very good.
Yeah, I mean the trailer was done fantastic, and can't complain about the material that they're showing on there. Hey, maybe this is exactly what we need in the state. But now we are going to go ahead and get into some heated topics. Okay.
Let's get hot.
For the very longest time, and some of our most viewed videos are about James Gunn versus Snyder, the people that follow Snyder, that are hating on anything James Gunn, you know, and vice versa. And we've even had comments where it's like, oh, you guys, you know, just hate Snyder. Go back to when those movies were coming out, and I was making videos, and that was before we
really
connected.
good predictions. Yeah.
And before we connected to do this REAC-CAST, you know, this channel used to be called The Fan Perspective, and it was basically what we do when we review movies. I did it through the fan scope, right? Like, did it satisfy the fans? So go back and watch my views on the Snyderverse movies, and I personally really like them, and I know they were misunderstood by a lot, but that doesn't take away from the fact that, like, if you're a DC or Superman fan, it doesn't matter who makes it.
Right.
You will appreciate it because it's on the big screen. So many of these, you know, Snyder bros, they came and they're like, oh, just because we don't like James Gunn movies doesn't mean that we're pro Snyderverse. And that's fair, right? But I wasn't necessarily making it out to the people that are just Snyder bros. But anyone that's just legit hating on James Gunn movie for being lighthearted or whatever, just because it's a different take on the character, well, some of you might be disappointed because you know, we've made videos in the past where we're like, hey, you know, you do know, like, Snyder and James Gunn are like really good buds behind the scenes because they've been involved in the same movies before. I think Slither. Yeah, the Evil Dead. I believe that one was by Snyder, but I think James Gunn was a producer. So there's like different things, and I might be wrong for those guys that are gonna comment. Oh no, this was this. Okay, all I'm saying is they've worked together before, and James Gunn has come out and said, like, you know, he's worked with Snyder in creating the Superman look. But since you all wanted to, you know, bash on especially the Snyder Bros here, listen to Snyder. This is on the Josh Horowitz podcast. I don't know if I said that right. But the title is right here. Zack Snyder says James Gunn Superman is amazing. So let's give it a watch and react.
I mean, James has been very kind. He said you've been very kind
James
to
is cool.
James Gunn.
Look, I wish them all the best, and I.
Okay, first of all, that right there where he's like, James has been really cool, or James is really cool. That already kills all you Snyder Bros that are going after James Gunn, because your leader right here, who probably doesn't even know he's the appointed leader of this whole thing. He just said that he's cool with James Gunn.
Don't have any. Like, it is what it is. It kind of. It's a weed. You know.
It's not a James Gunn or Snyder thing. the studio messed up. They did do Snyder wrong. I am not denying that. The guy's daughter, you know, she did self-harm and she passed away, and then instead of waiting on him to come back when he feels better, they're like, you know what, let's give it to Whedon.
Yeah.
You know, so I do feel, I understand your anger, why you want Snyderverse back, but we gotta understand, Snyderverse, as much as we liked it as a fan of the series, they were not commercially successful. And if you are gonna get into the whole, damn, Man of Steel made this much money with the inflation, of course it did, because that was the first Superman movie we were getting in. Superman Returns was, you know, say whatever, it was pretty bad. And Snyder knows how to make trailers. There's the one thing this guy knows how to do is how to put a trailer together. And that's what he did with Man of Steel. And people like me, we went and we loved it. We liked what we saw.
Honestly.
But it did make money because, you know, Dark Knight Rises just came out a few years ago.
Yeah.
And you're like, you know, people at that time, if you remember, you know, because Marvel was going and they were going to go ahead and get together for the Avengers, or I don't know if they did at that point. But no. I think Man of Steel and Iron Man came out very close to each other. And I think, you know, people knew where that was going to lead for the MCU. They were going to get the Avengers. And people thought, if you remember, they're like, oh, you know, Christopher Nolan's, you know, or what's his name? The guy who played Christian Bale, his Batman was going to be, you know, the new, you know, the Trinity, right? Like when they eventually get Wonder Woman. But this is before Ben Affleck and everything.
Yeah.
And the Warner Brothers did, you know, they didn't like the results. Those movies made so much money the first week. Man of Steel, yes, it was successful. But when you're talking about like inflation and everything, you also have to take into account Superman is coming after all these movies have already come out, right? There's a lot of people that got tired of the Snyderverse, gave up on the DC, didn't even know the new Superman's not part of that, right? There's that crowd. Then there's the anti-James Gunn crowd. Then there's the pro-Snyderverse crowd that just won't watch the James Gunn Superman, not because they don't hate it, but because they don't want it to make money, so they could bring back, you know, all that stuff, okay? It's coming back to saying, wow, stop. They're good friends. Support DC if you're a DC fan. Support superhero movies if you're a superhero fan, man. That's easy as I can say.
So that 3-movie trilogy is a weed that just won't die, you know, and so it doesn't need to, like, it grows on its own, it has its own life, and it doesn't really, is not concerned, I don't think, with James's Superman, which is amazing, and, you know, all the best to them, and I can't wait to see the next movie, and it's just awesome. It just really, to me, it's just not the same thing. It's just like a different thing.
1000%! We've been saying that. It's two different takes on the same character. And they're both really good. But we just have to understand with times, the Snyderverse was what it was.
Right.
Even Snyder has moved on from it. And even if he was to come back in the chair tomorrow, Ben Affleck and Henry Cavill, they're probably dedicated to something else, and now they've grown older. And
They are.
I think Ben Affleck, he might work on something, but I don't think he has the energy to be that Batman he wanted to be 10 years ago.
Yeah.
You know, all that stuff, and it's just so annoying because the fandoms are fighting each other. Meanwhile, both of these directors, both James Gunn and Snyder, are like, I like the other guy.
Is there anything when you saw James's version that, I mean, only James could do in that way that you appreciated in his take?
Of course, James is singular in his, like, in his storytelling, in his ability to kind of channel, like, sort of mythological pop culture into, like, what I would consider just iconic and very particular point of view that's both poignant and funny and all the things, you know. And I think he's like, you know, he's the best at it that I can think of, and I think that he's a great steward of that world. So.
That's awesome.
So now these people that are like, you know, James Gunn, fire James Gunn because of this, bring back the Snyderverse. Well, Snyder himself, you just heard it, you just saw it. He likes what James Gunn's got going because guess what? The directors, both of these guys love Superman. Both of these guys love comic book heroes. they don't want to see that genre fail. Like, neither of them wants to see the other fail because, for one, they're friends beyond movies. Two, they're covering the same genre that they both love. Right. So it makes no sense why some people are,
Yeah.
And yeah. So with that, it's
I think
crazy.
it's a beautiful thing, personally. I love seeing people support each other that are in the same fields like that, because they easily could hate on each other and shoot each other down and try to take each other's fans and stuff. But instead, why not just build to the universes? I think that's absolutely perfect.
No, for sure. And since we're on the topic about the Snyderverse and everything.
Yes, sir.
So we were talking about it earlier. Paramount bought out, or is trying to close a deal to purchase Warner Brothers. Now, if you guys want a little recap, Netflix originally got a favor over Paramount. Paramount, well, the Ellisons got pretty salty. They're like, no, I'm going to stop the sale because we really want it. We're going to take you to court.
Wow.
And then they lined up with the Saudis, so they've got different, more money involved.
Yeah.
And what Netflix was saying is, hey, we're just going to go ahead and buy Warner Brothers. You could go ahead and do what you want with Discovery. Okay? So with Warner Brothers, meaning HBO, the DCU, and everything, and then we're going to go ahead and, Netflix even said, hey, we're going to go ahead and have the regular 45-day window in the theater. That's what everybody was scared of. It's Netflix. They're going to kill the theater.
Yeah, that was the big fear. I appreciate that.
And they came out, they're like, very honest. They're like, no, we will go ahead and continue with the 45.
Yeah.
And whatever it may be.
They don't have to.
And then the Ellisons went even crazier. They raised it up. I think it was like 110 billion or something like that. I forgot what the number was.
What are you talking about?
And they're like, we're going to go ahead and do this. And Warner Brothers, David Zaslav, they said, okay, we'll go ahead and take that deal. Netflix, you have 4 days to go ahead and respond. And Netflix was like, no. I believe his exact quote was like, we're at the point where, well, I'm paraphrasing this. We're at the point where basically this money we're going to be doing, we're going to be losing because this is not something that we need. It was just something we wanted to go and expand our library, right? That's what they were trying to do. Netflix is already the biggest media giant when it comes to streaming, right? Movies and everything. Now with Paramount,
have they said anything about why they wanted it so badly?
I mean, we could get into the whole conspiracy ship.
Right,
we could talk about how
all day.
Paramount just wants to control all media, right? And that has to do with it.
I mean, my goodness.
So,
because it was almost a move of desperation when you look at that. That's such an unbelievably large amount.
It felt so childish when they were like, when they were like, oh, Netflix got a no.
Wow.
Like, no, I'm going to take you to court because it's not fair. That's the type of energy I was getting. I want it and you can't have it.
We'll just rebuild a new one.
But, so...
Because you still need the creativity. You still need the people that originally made everything. You're not just going to buy something and just think it's going to work out for you. You need to at least understand the essence of what it was.
And, I don't care whatever your political stance is, whatever it is. It's just whenever you get a monopoly going, bro. And not saying like Netflix owning Warner Bros. Wouldn't have been a monopoly itself, which is why the whole court case exists in the first place.
That's why we have to check each other.
But at the same time, Netflix was like, we're going to go ahead and we'll go ahead and, they were very transparent with what they were going to do. 45-day window. They were going to go ahead and keep all the staff as is so they can go ahead and just work. They just wanted to be the distributor, own the property, right? With Paramount, when they said, hey, what are you going to do with the stuff? They were pretty quiet. They were not willing to discuss what you're going to do with the merger. Now, there are rumors of David Zaslav, apparently a leak saying that he's just doing this to increase the value of the company, and then, the deal's not going to go through, and so he's just going to walk away with billions.
Yeah.
Because if you don't know, Warner Brothers is in like a $45 billion debt.
Yeah.
And this could honestly clear...
The reason they were selling originally.
This could clear it out very fast.
And make some profit.
Okay. Well, since we're still in the conspiracy train right now, let's talk about the...
Tinfoil hat.
Let's talk about the conspiracy story.
The man
of the week.
The hour.
Of the man of the hour. Okay, it's not showing up on here. Hold up. Let me go ahead and pull it out.
Look like that.
No, not that way, but
yeah, you got the better looking one.
Well, with okay, there you go. Jim Carrey. or Jim Carrey. You see Jim Carrey right here. Looked a bit different. People are pointing out to the fact that he had blue eyes instead of, his brown eyes. The face looks completely different. His mannerisms. I'm not going to play this just to avoid like any type of copy strike or anything, but by this time, I'm pretty sure you've seen something along this, because Jim Carrey is one of those guys that everybody is aware of and everybody loves. Honestly...
But he's also what you could consider a Hollywood whistleblower. If any of you have been paying attention.
So if you wanna go that route, yeah.
People wouldn't.
But I will say this: like, my reaction to this was like, okay. At first, I was like, oh my god, they didn't just clone him; they replaced my boy.
Right.
You could go into that type of theory, but honestly, I'm gonna go ahead and go with my two theories. One is going to be he's a method actor, if you guys don't know.
Right.
He could very much be playing his next role, and he's already kind of in that mode. He could be in the movie right now.
I can see it.
So he's playing, with the gentle calmness, because Jim Carrey is very random in his interviews, which is why we love him, because he's himself.
Yeah.
This was more mellowed down, and he was talking in a way he doesn't, as if he's acting for a movie.
Yeah.
That'd
be the only excuse that I'd truly allow.
Yeah. I mean,
he's just how he is now. It's like, no, not Jimmy.
Well, the second thing could be like, maybe he paid someone to go to the awards with him, because he's not a fan of these type of events, right?
Very well.
But he's not going to try to insult the fans or the media that voted for him, because it's an honor. And but to him,
and I believe this is in France, right?
France. So like he could be, because he's French. His ancestors were French. It's like 300 years ago. His lineage came to the U.S. That awesome. Type of stuff. So it could be just that. He could be just paying someone to go out there for him. The third thing could be
most believable to me.
The third thing could honestly be the Hollywood. Eventually, everybody goes through it. The cosmetic surgeries, maybe.
I hope not.
I don't see Jim Carrey as one of those people.
Especially having an iconic face specifically.
Yeah. I don't see him being one of those people. However, it is Hollywood, and some people maybe they get it later than others.
That's true.
It could be any one of those things, or you could go into the really deep rabbit hole, like a lot of people have been doing. And this man has been replaced, clone,
Yeah, that's one of the first things. That's one of the first thing that old YouTube normally brings up is saying that he's a clone or something like that. Do I think that? No, not necessarily. I really hope. See, that's one of the first things that pops up.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't think
so. Like, look at that. Look at that. Right? So exactly. Even on YouTube,
you can see the eyes. They're a little weird. They're a little.
But I did read one of the comments, and it makes sense. If you have hazel eyes, they said your eye color can be green or brown depending on.
It's true.
The lighting.
They can be far more green or far more brown.
Yeah. So you could, it wasn't like blue, right? Yeah, it was green. Right. So that kind of makes sense too. Am I trying to avoid you and telling you no, don't believe in the conspiracy? No, I'm not, because I am also a lover of conspiracy.
I don't want to keep doing that. Sorry.
But my boy Jim Carrey, I really hope he could just come out and be like, no, bro, this is me. And even then, I'll be like, okay, there's only one way you can prove it, Jim. And what would that be? Make that Grinch face, You know what I mean?
I can't even.
Yeah, man, you look constipated, bro.
Well, we know I'm not Jim.
Well, anyways, you guys, whatever your thoughts are about any of the trailers, any of the topics we've had in this video, leave it in the comment section down below. Don't forget to hit that like button, that subscribe button, and the post notification bell for every time we're uploading a new video.
Be aware.
Also, look out for those posts we do, because we'll post right before we'll go ahead and do a live Saturday REAC-CAST where you could join us and we could have a laugh in the chat.
Please.
Or we can have recommendations in the chat. Whatever it is. Please join us
chat.
Every Saturday. Keep an eye out for our posts, because we'll let you know maybe a day or two ahead what time we'll be going live on a Saturday. But other than that, you guys, in this world, we will still continue to put out that one message that everybody needs to hear. It is to stop the hate
and spread the love.
And I hope you guys have a great one. Boom!